It's actually a space where you actually have to pay attention to the details. I don't see it as a surrendering, but as an awareness. I've been contemplating a lot about people that go to heartbreaks very hard. And I discovered that a heartbreak is nothing else than the opening of the heart. Because every time you have a heartbreak for any circumstance, relationship, interaction, there is a lesson that is coming into play so you can actually stop acting from your wound, heal yourself, acknowledge the shadow, and then be reborn. Every time around, there's a rebirth. Every time around, the energy is asking you to look at these details. The moon cycles are very important, and people don't understand it because the sun nurtures the body, but the moon is the one that actually, like the ocean, it changes the tide. And that's in the body as well, because we're made of water, but people don't get it. They call it heretic. That's fine. We all are different and we all have different beliefs. But one thing that is important is that it doesn't matter what beliefs we have, we're all one consciousness. And every time one of us heals, the world gets cleansed. And every time one of us awakens, those around us awake with us or decide to take a different path. And that's fine. And that's where you have to learn that heartbreak is the ability of not letting go. It's fun because at a certain point of the journey, I realized this is not about hardship or heartbreak. This is about spiritual ascension. And that is actually what allowed me to let go of people, places, and things without feeling, I'm not going to say sad about it, but not feeling responsible of it because it's not my responsibility. So this actually energy is pushing you to see what is the rock in your way. There's a difference very big between seeing a rock and hitting it to the curve than seeing a rock, picking it up, putting it in your pocket, and continue to walk. Or if a rock gets into your shoe, continue to walk with it. Circumstance number one, when you actually hit it to the curve, you're avoiding. When you pick it up and put it in your pocket, little by little, you start carrying that cross that is not yours to bear. And as you accumulate rocks and don't release them, that's when you get your heart broken. A heartbreak is just the inability for us to let go of control, let go of a specific outcome desired, And that is what they call living in the flesh. Because living in the flesh is nothing more than allowing ourselves to let the mind work through pleasures. And that pleasure can be anything. We can overdo things because we find pleasure in attention. We find pleasure in distraction. We find pleasure in avoiding. And it's very important that you realize who's moving you out of that center. Because we're not going to pinpoint the finger at that person. We're going to see what they are doing that is reflecting to us as a mirror and is nudging us to understand maybe that is something about myself I have to change. Or maybe I understand the energy that that person brings. The energies are changing, and they're changing massively. And you can see it because every time there's going to be an energetic change that we're supposed to evolve with spiritually, there's going to be a lot of drama happening in the world. And this has been happening for a few years now because they had to set fear into play so people would not feel the energy change. But who am I to explain that to people that are happy living a conformative life? A lot of people think that conformism is not having all that you want. That's fine. I respect that. For me, having all that you want without working extra for it comes from spirituality. Because in the moment that you understand spirituality and the truth of our walk in the light, the false veils just fall down. And whatever is an appearance and whatever is not meant to be falls off. The more we hold on to something, the further away it goes, because it is a law of polarity. And I had the tendency to worry about people and their healing. And it became like my burden. So today I release all those burdens because the energy is requesting us to do that. I don't feel responsible for anyone but myself. So instead of focusing that energy on others, I finally focus the energy on myself. And I did get that advice a while back, but I didn't understand what it meant until a few years ago that I started swapping and focusing on me more than others. And the echo still lingered and the energy still lingered. But this moons, like these cycles that the world is going through, is gonna bring a lot of beautiful changes in humanity. Yep. So it is not until the moment that you confront yourself and you see the mirror for what it is that the image breaks. That the persona that you lived so highly attached to doesn't matter anymore, because you're not living for anyone. You're living for your own joy and happiness without being selfish, but selfless. And there is a huge difference in between one and the other. Before, I used to have the right words, but I didn't understand part of the journey. That's why I said the mask that I was wearing is the one of understanding, because I did have the knowledge. I did have the downloads, But I never sat with that entire blueprint that Abba was giving to me to acknowledge it and apply it in my life. When I did it, everything switched, everything changed for good. That's why I understand people's projections. That's why I understand the what they call demons that people carry. But I never understood how to face them without allowing them to get intertwined with my energy until Abba revealed it to me. And it's beautiful. Because the things that used to bother me before, now they make me laugh. And before I used to laugh about him, not to mock people, but because I saw it as a cute inner child tantrum. But now it taught me to read more inside of the depth of the soul of that person in a way that I can understand what are their hurts and their fears. Not to enable them, but to with compassion understand and let go. Sometimes in life, we don't get the same treatment from others. We are the ones that only give our understanding and compassion to others, but others don't give it back to us. The reason why is not because they're mean or they want to do it purposely. Some people do. They feel happy if you feel bad. And I feel sad for those people. But I also see how my approach to people may sound like I am that type of person. And that's why I learned and I'm learning and I'm changing the way I speak. Not because I want to be the cutest baby of them all. No. Just because love is so beautiful. And my passionate way of speaking didn't sound like inviting, it sounded like judgmental. That if I hear myself in the past speaking, I'm like, no wonder why people at times said, oh, your advice is good. But at the same time, they felt like a little rejection. And it's fine. That's what Abba was teaching me to do in order for me to be able to deliver these messages with more clarity. And it is what it is. The moment that you allow yourself to let go of the things that actually don't have a place in your life is the moment when the real things that need to be in your experience will appear, little by little, magically. The reason why is because you're not holding on to old attachments. You're not holding on to expectations or a specific outcome. You're open to receive. And abundance is a flow of energy that works in reciprocity. If you're not grateful for what you have, then you cannot get more. There's a lot of people out there that are even older than me that haven't come into the understanding. And obviously, we wish that we would have known this earlier in life. But the reason why is because there is a bigger plan that is set and weaved for us to actually understand it when we need to understand it. So the flow, it's open to the right time. I always said this and I'm not changing it. God's time is your time because he's not going to give you anything until you're ready for it. And you cannot fake it. God knows exactly when you're open to receive it. Because God is energy that cannot be destroyed, only transformed, the same than love. That's why I believe that our religion should be love and not indoctrination. Because in the love side of things, those who not understand, those that don't understand what the reciprocity of love is, will always have a superficial relationship with another. And that's why we get into toxic relationships or habit relationships, and not relationships that actually enjoy every single moment of the day, not because they want to be together with each other at 24/7, just because the energy flows so easily that they enjoy exchanging that energy, not taking from it, not only giving it, but exchanging it. The highest currency in life comes with a flow of energy. And if you have energy stuck, that's where diseases come and many more things. Having to understand PTSD, it made me wiser than provocation. As those that are trying to provoke me know my triggers, but what they don't know is I am not my triggers. I am not PTSD. I was when I didn't know what it was, and it was just creeping inside of me. But now that I know who it is, what it is, or where it came from, I'm not going to allow it to bother me. My body's still healing. That's true. So even when circumstances happen, my body may resonate with distress, but I also know how to heal my body. So I just need to be just like Jesus, sometimes in silence, and connect with Abba, and the rest is done. A lot of people think that faith is sitting and waiting. I've known for a long time that faith is not that. Hope is not that. I know the meaning of prayer, so I don't pray like everybody else. Prayer is something that comes with alignment, not with disalignment. People that pray in disalignment, unfortunately, are not getting answers for their prayers because they're only asking, not as if they know it will be done, but begging for it to happen even when they don't believe it. And that's very difficult to understand if you don't walk the spiritual path. There's other people that want a situation so badly that they're willing to harm others just to get them out of the game, which for me is just ignorance, entitlement, narcissistic ways. When I saw that my approach was rough, I let go of everything. I didn't approach anybody anymore. I did share some messages of enlightenment or information that I was learning. Not because I care if they reply or not, just because that's who I am. If I see people at times that have the same patterns that I have, I'll just share it with them, and maybe one day they can take them into consideration and change their life for the better. God is amazing. What everybody calls God, which is the wisdom that you have inside of you. The Holy Spirit is amazing because it's your own alignment. When you match your Trinity and you're in alignment, you become unstoppable. You learn that you don't have to grind 24/7 to get what you want. You learn that they all come at ease. Not because you deserve it. They come at ease because you're in the right vibration to receive them. Epiphanies of the energy changes. We're in the Christic era, and the new era of Christianity is coming. There's going to be a lot of natural events. A lot. Mother Nature is going to speak loud because people don't want to understand. In order to calm nature, we need to calm ourselves, and we're living in too much fear for nature to be calm. So we vibrate in the same places that nature is vibrating. We're activating the magnetism of the seismic fields because we are not aligned. So every time there is chaos out there, more natural disasters are going to come, and people are not understanding that we're creating them with our lack of compassion, with our need to take sides, with our need to win at all cost. I think that the story of Atlantis is very important in this moment. Not sure why it's coming into mind, but I think that the Atlanteans were very developed as we are getting developed in AI and all these things. They were developed in that sense as well. And that's why it had to be restarted. But this energy is different. It's not about a restart. It's about a change for the better. This time humanity is actually gonna know what they're capable of when they actually align. And it's gonna be beautiful. It's just gonna be beautiful. I can see it. I don't live in a cloud. I just know things that other people don't know. And I stop sharing them with the people I love, because when I do that and they're not resonating or understanding, it at times make me feel sorry, not sorry for them. That's a bad thing to say. It makes me feel, I would say, sad that they cannot feel what I feel. And that's why I had to learn to leave a lot of people behind, even people that I call sisters and friends, because it was never a reciprocal interaction. The day that you get there, I'll assure you, all your prayers are going to be answered. So if you're feeling this energetic change, energetic shift, open your heart to receive it, because it's not going to happen again until like a lot of years. Enjoy it.